Hello and welcome to the Junior Club Director Informational webinar for the 2026 Carolina Region and USA Volleyball season. We'll be going through the most common questions, procedures, and processes to help you get your club and teams registered for the upcoming season. We are looking forward to another great season on the courts, and we are glad you're playing. Let's get started. We will begin with a review of some primary contacts for the Junior Division program of the Carolina Region. We will not go through each person individually, but this slide shows some key volunteers and staff associated with the Carolina region. For all primary questions concerning registration and tournaments, you should start with the staff in the region office. If you have specific questions about becoming an official, then contact our officials program director. Junior reps to the Carolina Region Board of Directors may be contacted for big picture feedback, both good and bad, on region policies and programs. You can access contact information for all board members and staff on our website under the About menu. One of the first items of business for most clubs at the beginning of a new season is ordering uniforms for new and existing players. It is important to review the complete USA Volleyball uniform rules so you will not have any issues at tournaments you attend. There are minimum height and placement requirements for the front and back of the uniform jersey. You should also make sure your libero uniform fully contrasts with the primary uniforms, as that is usually the number one issue with uniforms at events. We publish the complete uniform at our frequently asked questions page at our website. Our FAQ can be found under the info menu and is updated each season with any changes. If you are unsure whether your libero uniform is contrasting enough, USAV does offer a service to clubs to submit pictures of your uniforms to the rules interpreter for a ruling. As this is open to clubs nationwide, please only use this service if there is a legitimate question of legality. If the uniforms are clearly contrasting, there is no need to submit. USAV also allows clubs to use the USAV logo on your uniforms if you wish, but you must receive written permission first. Both of these documents can be found under the Junior Club Director section on our Documents and Forms page under the Info menu at our website. As mentioned on the previous slide, we do have a page on our website that houses all of the documents and forms for the Carolina region. This page can be found under the Info menu. Each document is categorized into its primary program or function. Junior Club Directors has its own section of forms that you will want to reference as needed. Documents that may change from season to season are labeled with the season identifier, so please make sure the document you are referencing or using is labeled for the current season. Most documents for the new season get posted around September 1st, but some may get updated later if we are still waiting on updates from USA Volleyball. As you prepare for tryouts each season, we recommend reviewing a few documents concerning recruiting and tryouts. The recruiting document outlines acceptable methods for notifying players and families about your tryouts. We also have a club tryout principles document that offers suggestions on holding open and fair tryouts with the goal of reducing some of the stress during the tryout period on families and clubs. Clubs that adopt these principles truly have the best interest of players in mind and will be seen as a club that players want to associate with. Finally, review the Athlete and Club Bill of Rights. We include a one-page bulleted version of the Bill of Rights that you may post or hand out at your tryouts. Tryouts are a stressful time for both clubs and players. We encourage all clubs to remember that you're offering a service to kids and keep that in mind when adopting your tryout policies and philosophy. The Carolina Region Board of Directors updated the tryout policy for the 2022 season and is unchanged for this season. The current tryout policy reflects the current realities of junior volleyball in the state and country. Tryouts may be held for the following season once the current season concludes. The indoor season concludes at the end of the final USAV Junior National Championship competition in early July. Although clubs may hold tryouts in July and August, a player may not formally commit to a USAV club until September 1st of each year when the new USAV season begins. All clubs should use the written Carolina Region Letter of Commitment form and keep it on file. The region will post the current season's form after September 1st. If there is a question as to which USAV club a player has committed to, the region will request the clubs in question to submit a copy of the signed letter of commitment for verification. Players will also accept an invite from a club inside the USAV member management system each year so they can be added to a USAV roster. But the written LOC is the only document that will be used if there is a dispute on which club a player committed to. Please note that any other formal contracts between a family and club is not governed by the Carolina region, as we would not be a named party or signatory in those contracts. Each season, you will need to register your club with the Carolina region. This is free and just ensures we have current contact information for the club. If there are any changes to the club director, email, or club website, this annual registration will help us record that. The club registration link is in the Junior Club Director section of our Documents page. When a brand new club registers, we will add the club director to our club director email group and notify SportsEngine to create a Club HQ page for the club. The club director should receive an email to claim their club's HQ page within a few business days. We will also add the club to our club directory on the Region Tournament System website. Your club directory listing will include a 5-letter club code that you may need for other tournament administration websites, so do make note of that code. It is also found inside of every team code when you register your teams. Returning clubs will use the same club HQ as they have in past seasons. Club directors may add additional admins as needed inside their directory. All clubs will use the Club HQ to manage their teams and submit their teams to USA Volleyball. Note that SportsEngine provides a free Club HQ and may also offer you a premium Club HQ option with additional tools to run your club. The free HQ option has all the tools you need to register and participate in USAV events, so only purchase the premium HQ if you see value in those additional features. To access your HQ page after it has been created by SportsEngine, log into your SE account. On the main page, you will see a My Organizations box in the upper right of the screen. Click that and choose your club name to access the HQ page for your club. SportsEngine has continued to improve the process of registering and affiliating athletes and coaches with your club, and the system is also cutting down the instances of duplicate accounts. You should only send an invite to a family once they have signed a Carolina Region letter of commitment to formally accept a bid to affiliate with your club for the current season. We highly recommend using a public club assignment link to affiliate all your players and coaches with your club. To find this link, go to your Club HQ page, expand the Members menu item and click on Memberships. Click the Generate an Open Link text and copy the resulting link in the pop-up box. Send that link by email to your families, coaches, and don't forget yourself. When an individual clicks on the link, they will be taken to the Carolina Region Quizzard and will be able to purchase a membership and affiliate with your club in the same process. If the individual has already purchased a membership for this season, clicking the link will just affiliate them with your club. They will not have to purchase another membership. One exception is if they need to upgrade a limited membership, such as a tryout membership, to a full junior membership. We have updated our registration information page on our website to incorporate best practices as recommended by USA Volleyball and SportsEngine. Descriptions of adult and junior memberships can be found at this page now. The recommended method for players and coaches to purchase memberships and affiliate with your club is to simply send them your public club assignment link, as outlined on the previous slide. If a player or coach has multiple roles during the season, for example, a coach is also an official or a player is an assistant coach, then they can click the public club assignment link again to go through the process and choose a different role and membership. They will not be charged for a similar priced membership. All participants must be registered at least 1 week before participating in a tournament. We do allow late registrations through the Thursday before an event, with a $5 late fee, which is invoiced to the club director. Rosters are final as of Thursday, so there will be no roster additions the day of a tournament. Be sure to confirm your rosters before each event, so there are no surprises the day of the event. The member management system does allow club admins to purchase current season memberships for people in their directory. Clubs may choose to do this for their coaches if they show in their directory, and it is your policy to pay for region memberships for your coaches. If you purchase a membership for someone in your directory, they will receive an email notification of the membership and be asked to go accept the related waivers. Be sure to select the Adult Coach of Juniors membership, so it will attach the correct requirements to their account. Once the coach completes the waivers and the other background screen, safe sport, and impact requirements, they will show as eligible and will appear on a roster when added. We do ask that clubs not add anyone, coaches or players, to their directory in order to purchase memberships, as this will increase the chances for duplicate accounts in the directory. Instead, send your public club assignment link to families and coaches so they will be more likely to log in to their existing SE account if they have one. Once they accept the invite, they will then show in your directory for the current season and future seasons. We also ask clubs not to purchase player memberships, as the chance for errors increases with those purchases. The U.S. Center for Safe Sport, established by the U.S. Congress, does require that adults 18 or older that are affiliated with a junior sports organization must take a safe sport course each season. When a coach or player registers, the system will use their birth date and role to determine if they need to take safe sport this season. Juniors that are 18 or will turn 18 during the 2026 season will need to complete a safe sport course to be eligible. This requirement is tied to their birth date and not what age team they are eligible to participate with. There will be some players that are eligible to play on a 17 feats team that will still be required to purchase the junior membership with safe sport required in order to participate. They will be turning 18 at some point during the 2026 season, which expires August 31, 2026, so that is why they are required to complete Safe Sport. Just inform the players that if they are prompted to purchase that membership, it is valid, and they should complete the course before the season to get eligible. The member management system provides a digital membership card as proof of membership. Applicants will receive a welcome email after registering. There will be a link in the welcome email to go view and save the digital member card. Members can also access the card inside the SE household profile. Members may save the card to their Apple Wallet or Google Pay account for convenient access. Tournament hosts do have right to ask participants to prove their USAV membership, so we advise all members to keep their membership cards accessible during the season. All clubs will need a Club HQ to administer their club, register their teams, and submit rosters to USA Volleyball for the current season. SE will create a Club HQ for new clubs after they submit the current season's club registration form. Existing clubs will also need to submit a club registration form each season, but they will access their current Club HQ each season. We have a page on our website dedicated to the member management system that club admins can refer to as needed during the season for help with the system. Links to the current SE playbook, videos, and other help resources can be found on this page. Clubs will have at least one admin designated with access to the HQ, but you will be able to add other admins from your directory. All admins will need to have a current USAV membership, clear the USAV background screen, and complete the current SafeSport course to have access to the USAV portion of the Club HQ page. We have instructions on the MMS information page about how to add the region office as an admin in your HQ. We ask all clubs to add us as a USAV manager so we can help your club with common team registration and rostering tasks if there are issues. Once your club is registered for the current season, it is time to register your teams with the region. The team registration process is handled all online and is a two-step process. The team registration has been improved this season and requires less data entry into our tournament system. The first step is done in your club HQ. USAV has created a Club Administrator (SE) playbook that has step-by-step instructions with screenshots for all common admin tasks performed in the HQ. The playbook link can be found at the Junior Club Director section and the MMS information page on our website. We highly recommend clubs refer to the playbook before proceeding with your team creation. In general, you will create a new season under season management. We recommend naming it with the current season year. You will then connect that season to the 2026 USA Volleyball season. In the Overview tab, you will then create your teams in your season. Once the teams are created, you can then submit those teams up to the connected USA Volleyball season. This is critical so the region and USAV can view your teams. We will not see your teams until you link to the USAV 2026 season. You can add coaches and players to your roster at any time, but be sure to push any changes made up to the USAV season, so the current roster will always be visible to USAV. All teams must have a unique designated team rep. We will pull over all staff on the roster into the tournament system for step 2 of the process. You'll be able to choose one of the staff as the designated team rep. If that person is already a rep for another team in the club, you'll need to select again. You can go back to your HQ to add a unique staff person to the team roster if you need to. The club director, chaperone, or parent rep may be a team rep if you need additional unique reps for each team. You will not be able to proceed with Step 2 of the team registration process until all your teams have a unique rep on the roster. After you have linked your teams to the current USAV season, Step 2 of the team registration process is to add some additional information about your teams in the region's tournament system. The Step 2 link to enter teams in the tournament system is at the same Junior Club Director section on our Documents page. When you get to the team registration page, you will start to type your club name to find your club in the tournament system. Once the club is selected, you will see all teams that have been pulled over into our tournament system. Note that our system will pull information from Sports Engine every 20 minutes, so if you have just entered information into your HQ, wait 30 to 45 minutes and check again in the tournament system for updates. Your teams will default to the zone East or West that you chose during club registration. You can still choose a different zone for each team if a team wants to play in the other zone for the season. You will also choose the starting quintile for each team based on how strong you believe the team is versus all other teams at their age level in the region. We will be notified automatically when all your team information is correctly entered, and we will send an invoice to the club director for the team fees. All team registrations received by December 1st will qualify for early bird pricing. However, teams can register anytime during the season. Teams just need to be fully registered 2 weeks before participating in an event since the tournament entry deadline is 2 weeks before events. New for 2026, Sports Engine and Advanced Event Systems have added a feature so you can import your teams from the USAV season into AES. You will not need to recreate a team in AES any longer. This will also ensure that the team names and USAV team codes match in both systems. This is critical for ranking systems. Let's go over a little more about the Step 2 team registration questions. Each team in the region's tournament system will be assigned to either the East or West realm. The region has identified an imaginary north-south line through Greensboro as the dividing line for the East and West designations. Teams around Greensboro typically choose East as their realm, but note that any team may choose either realm regardless of where they are located. Clubs just need to understand that the realm they choose will be the realm they will be assigned to when the one-day tournaments are assigned out. Teams may choose to participate in a different realm on any particular tournament date, but that choice must be made before the tournament entry deadline and before the sites are assigned. We will go through the tournament site assignment process on a later slide, and you will see why the designation needs to be made before the tournament entry deadline. Another item that each team will enter when registering their team in the tournament system is their initial grouping for the rankings. Teams will choose a number between 1 and 5, representing where they think their team ranks skill-wise, with all teams in their age group in the region. Please note, this number is not the same and is not related to the team rank you will choose for teams inside your club while creating your teams in your HQ. For the quintile numbers, the top 20% of all teams in the same age group would choose quintile 1. The next 21 to 40% of teams would choose 2 and so on. The bottom 20% of that age group's teams would choose 5. The region has assigned starting points values for each quintile, as well as for each age group. Teams will then be ranked in the tournament system based on their initial points value. The starting levels do overlap some at the top and bottom of each age group, as it is understandable that the top of one age group will be competitive with the bottom of their adjacent age group, and vice versa. The quintile is only used to set the initial ranking value and has no bearing on what site number a team may be assigned to. Once teams start playing tournaments, their rankings will change based on their performance. We have made some time-saving improvements to the tournament system that are still in place. We are able to bring in team and roster information directly into the tournament system through an API process. With this change, you'll only need to enter 2 things in our system to complete your team registrations, but you will not be able to enter information until all teams have a unique staff person on the roster to be designated as a team rep in our tournament system. You may also register a chaperone or other adult and identify them as the team rep if you need a unique rep for a team. Note that the club director is copied on most every communication sent through the tournament system, so you will not miss out on notifications by not being listed as a team rep on any particular team. Another reason we ask for unique team reps for each team is to help populate our Junior Advisory Board. The Junior Advisor Board is a subgroup of the Carolina Region Board of Directors. They help discuss and implement policies and programs associated with the junior division in the region. This group usually meets once formally each season in April or May and may be asked to weigh in by email or survey on issues as they arise during the season. Although we ask for unique team reps, please understand that one club director or administrator may still handle all administrative tasks for the club, such as registering the teams, entering teams into tournaments, etc. We do prefer that all communications from a club come from one club director. One common question we receive each season is, what if we chose the wrong group or quintile when registering our teams? We understand that it is sometimes difficult to project where a team might fit competitively with other teams in their age group across the region. The tournament system ranking process is designed to move teams higher and lower based on their results. So, if you struggle the first tournament, your points value will go down and you'll be assigned out to the next tournament with other teams that have similar points values. This process will eventually get you to playing against other teams of similar abilities. However, if you started too high or low and are not moving up/down enough, teams may petition for the region staff to evaluate the team's rankings and performance. Any petitions will need to be in writing by noon on the Monday following their second regular season tournament. Staff may adjust the team's points value to move the team an additional level up or down depending on the circumstances. No petitions to make adjustments to initial points values will be accepted after the 3rd tournament of the season. USA Volleyball no longer collects medical release forms at their national sanctioned events. For that reason, we are not posting a medical release form on our forms section of the website any longer. Clubs may still choose to collect a medical information/release form for their players that their coaches would have with them at team activities. We have a generic form available that clubs may utilize if they wish. Email the region office to request a copy of that form. The USA Volleyball Insurance Program is in force at all USAV-sanctioned events. All hosts must make a request and receive approval to host a Carolina Region USAV-sanctioned event. There is an online event sanction request form linked on our documents page under the insurance section. Clubs may use this form to request to have events or activities such as clinics, camps, leagues, beach activities, or USAV team practices sanctioned. There is a sanction fee with most activities. Use of team practices are free but will only be approved for activities that occur after the team has completed and paid for their team registrations for the season. Event sanction requests are tied to the SE account of the applicant and can be referred to inside their registration tab after submission. Please note that if a club wants to host a sanctioned tournament, there is a separate request form for that found on under the Tournament Director section of the Forms page. The USA Volleyball Insurance Program is comprised of 2 main components: a general liability policy and a secondary participant accident policy. The liability policy is primarily for damage to facilities during sanctioned events. The participant accident policy provides coverage for injuries that may occur during a sanctioned event. There is a deductible for both policies, and if a participant has primary medical insurance, that will have to pay out first. An incident report form is required to be filed before any claim is considered. If a player is injured at an event, make sure the tournament host completes the incident report and is sending it to the region office. Parents should not submit a medical claim form until all other primary insurance has processed and paid their claims. The incident report form is provided to all our sanctioned tournament hosts automatically each season. Clubs should contact the region office directly for the current season's incident report form for any injuries or incidents that occurred during their approved sanction activities. Now let's find out about requirements to be a coach in the Carolina region. All head coaches must be 18 or older. All coaches must also be at least 2 years older than the age group they are coaching. All coaches will also need to clear the USAV background screen to be eligible to coach. Only the USAV screen will satisfy this requirement. A coach cannot ask to have another recent work or school screen be substituted for the USAV screen. Chaperones are not required if all coaches on the roster are over 18. A coach may only coach for one club, but they are permitted to be on multiple rosters in the same club. The Carolina region does allow 16 and 17-year-olds to be rostered as an assistant coach as long as the following requirements are met. The junior coach must be on a team that is 3 years or more younger than they are. So a 17-year-old junior assistant coach could be rostered on a 14 or younger team. If a team is utilizing a junior assistant coach, then the head coach must be 25 years or older, and the team will also have to register another coach or chaperone that is over 25 years old. The second adult is required to attend and sit on the bench at all events the junior assistant is also attending. The junior assistant coaches must complete the Impact and Safe Sport courses before they will be an eligible coach. If the junior coach turns 18 during the season, they would need to create their own Sports Engine account so we can transfer their membership into it and get the adult coach membership. They will need to complete the USAV background screen once they turn 18 before being eligible to continue coaching. Please have any junior coaches that turn 18 contact the region office so we can walk them through that process. For 16 and 17-year-old coaches, send them your public club assignment link and have them go through the Quizzard same as every other player and coach. They will select coach as a role and it will show them the junior aged staff, Safe Sport and Impact required membership option. This will include all the requirements they need to coach. If the individual already has a player membership, they would still go through the Quizzard again. The system will not charge them to add another membership role to their account. All coaches will need to complete the Impact course to be eligible to coach. USA Volleyball has recently updated the Impact course. Returning coaches will not need to take Impact again, but any coach that wants to view the updated Impact 2.0 course may request to have the course added to their Learning Academy site. All teams must have an eligible, certified coach on their roster and be present in order to participate in a Carolina region sanctioned event. Clubs should require all coaches to complete their requirements before participating in any club activities. In addition, all adults affiliating with a junior club must complete a Safe Sport course. The Safe Sport course is administered by the U.S. Center for Safe Sport. They have a core course and 3 refresher courses that individuals will take in subsequent seasons. Individuals that select a coach, referee, or other adult membership affiliating with a junior club will have the background screen and Safe Sport courses automatically attached to their membership. Individuals can log into their SE account to access the links to complete their requirements. The Carolina region believes that all coaches should strive to learn and improve their abilities so they will continue to have a positive impact on the kids they are coaching. The coach's education policy asks coaches to take an approved clinic or course to maintain their coaching eligibility for 3 seasons. Approved learning activities that will extend a coach's eligibility include the USAV Impact Clinic, the NFHS Fundamentals of Coaching course, attendance at the AVCA convention, Art of Coaching clinics, Gold Medal Squared clinics, and completion of multiple modules in the USAV Coaching Academy. Clubs may also submit other educational clinics, programs, or opportunities in advance to receive credit towards their continuing education requirements. We are currently working with the Art of Coaching Group to bring a coaching clinic to the Carolina region in May of 2026. Carolina region members will receive a discount off the course fees. Stay tuned for more details on this clinic opportunity for your coaches. Since USA Volleyball no longer requires a chaperone on the roster at nationally sanctioned events, they do require clubs to develop and adopt policy will become the club's default policy in the eyes of USAV. Please review the sample policy and consider updating and adopting it for your clubs and athletes' protection. The Carolina region is continuing our Boys Grant program this season with no changes in how to qualify. There are 2 ways to qualify for a grant. The first way is to register at least one more boys team than you registered last season. Clubs that register one more team than last year will earn $750. And last season will earn $1,000. Note that clubs that have already earned a boys grant in prior seasons will be limited to a $500 grant for continued growth in their boys program. There is no application form required for this grant. We will send out the grant automatically in January after all team registrations have been processed. The second way a club can earn a boys grant this season is to hold a boys developmental league. The league should operate for at least 3 weeks. To qualify for the grant, the club will qualify for a grant with a minimum of 10 participants. You may structure your league in any way you wish, from clinics, skills practice, and/or games. Our boys grant program has had great success. We grew 10 boys teams last year, and the effort across the state to make boys volleyball a sanctioned high school sport North Carolina is on the cusp of approval. We invite your club to continue to help us grow opportunities for boys to play this great sport. Please consider offering 118 and 114 boys playing opportunity this season. The boys grant program mentioned earlier can help you fund your efforts. Finding boys to play is usually not too hard. Siblings of your girls' players are often a good place to start. Many middle schools across the state do have boys volleyball as a sport, or just ask your girls' players to invite their friends and classmates to a playing opportunity. Also, your boys program does not have to be as structured or last as long as your girls program, unless the demand is there for it, of course. You can hold a weeknight league during different parts of the year. Bring them in for practices and scrimmages, and offer co-ed play with your girls' teams. Of course, if you want your boys program to also play in some tournaments, we are offering a boys tournament schedule again this season. This schedule is available under the tournaments menu on our website. Several of our multi-day tournaments are now offering boys division day tournaments during the season, including a boys regional championship event to conclude the season. Entry for the one-day tournaments is directly to the region using the same tournament entry process as the girls' teams for our one-day events. Please support these boys' tournaments if you are able to help us grow the game. The next section of slides will cover the Carolina Region Tournament experience. Let's begin with the region's expectation on positive behavior at all USAV-sanctioned events. The region endorses the principles of the Positive Coaching Alliance and its Honor the Game philosophy. We have adopted a participant-spectator behavior policy that addresses how tournament directors, officials, and region staff will address inappropriate behavior at our events. In summary, we have a zero-tolerance policy for inappropriate behavior from spectators, coaches, and participants at our events. Individuals that violate the policy will be asked to leave the event and may be suspended from future events. Please be sure to download and review the behavior policy and review it with all your coaches and families before the season. We find that if the club administration supports and encourages this philosophy and zero-tolerance stance, we usually do not have any behavior issues with those clubs. Thank you for your support in providing a safe and encouraging environment for our players and officials. Another way the region helps control inappropriate behavior at events is with the Purple Card Spectator Sanction Policy. This effort was created by several regions of USA Volleyball to give volleyball officials a tool to help control spectator behavior. Now let's review the officiating requirements for this season. USA Volleyball publishes an indoor and beach rules book, and those rules remain in force for a 2-year cycle. This season is the first year of a new rulebook cycle. There are a few new rules being implemented this season, so be sure to visit our website for an overview. The Carolina region only provides a printed rulebook for our professional referees. If you are interested in viewing the rules, you may download a PDF version from the USA Volleyball website at the Officials section. USAV is also working to provide an app that will contain the current rules. We will post information about the app when it is available at our Officials and Documents pages. All Carolina region teams participating in region tournaments must meet a minimum team officiating requirement. Each team is required to have 2 certified player referees, 1 certified player scorer and 1 certified adult referee on the roster to be eligible to participate. All certified Any team that leaves a tournament without fulfilling an officiating assignment is subject to a $200 sanction, so be sure to check all assignments carefully and never leave an event without checking out with the tournament director first. All officials will complete their certification clinics online this season. All junior members will be automatically enrolled in their required officiating modules when they purchase their membership. Coaches or other adults that may appear on a roster will need to manually enroll in their course in the USAV Academy. We have instructions for juniors and adults on how to access the USAV Academy, view their enrollments, and for adults, instructions on which course to enroll in to meet their requirements at the online ref/score clinic information page under the clinics menu on our website. How to host one of these clinics once the materials are ready. Please consider hosting one of these clinics for your younger teams. Note that this is a supplemental training and all officials will still need to complete the online clinic to receive their certification. We will not receive any attendance records from in-person clinics. They are designed to enhance and reinforce the online clinics. All members will be able to view their certifications once they have been completed under their Credentials tab in their SportsEngine account. Individuals will need to log in to the primary SE account in a browser to view membership information, as this information is not available in the SportsEngine app currently. For junior members, the SE account is usually created with the parent or guardian's email. Once logged in, go to the Household menu item. Choose the household individual you want to view and click to apply the filter. You can view current and past credentials from this view. Finally, the USA Volleyball Academy Launch button is available inside your SE account. Click the Launch button and choose the household member that is taking their course to be taken to the academy to begin. The Carolina Region Tournament schedule is available under the Tournaments menu on our website. The process for entering our one-day tournaments was improved last season, and there are no changes. All tournament entries will occur directly in the tournament system. We will provide a link to club directors to access the tournament entry page. Club directors will pull up their clubs, and then they will be able to see all their registered teams and the tournaments they are eligible to enter. Teams will need to be fully registered in the tournament system before a club will be able to enter them in a tournament. A club director will check a box for each tournament they want to enter for a particular team. They may enter as many tournaments as they wish and then submit the entries. The region will be notified of the entries, and we will then send an invoice to the club director's Zelle or SE account within 1 to 2 business days. Once the club director submits payment, we will process the entries as paid in the system, and the team rep and club director will receive their tournament entry confirmation email same as in past seasons. A few notes on this process. Teams will only be able to enter their designated realm, that is East or West, and the tournaments their age group is assigned to play in. If you want your team to play in a different realm or an older age group, you will need to email that request to the region office and we will manually process that entry for you and send the entry invoice. Also, clubs will need to keep tournament entry deadlines in mind with this new process. Since the office will need to send and process an invoice manually, submitting an entry at or near the entry deadline will be more problematic. We ask that all tournament entries be submitting into the tournament system by Friday noon before the deadline, so the office has time to send out invoices, and the club director can submit payment over the weekend. If your club has a Zelle account, we are able to send a Zelle invoice which allows us to save on fees. There is a maximum payment amount that Zelle can handle, so please submit your entries in smaller batches, like by team, if you are receiving your invoice by Zelle. The Carolina region certifies close to 250 professional officials each season. These referees are dedicated in providing a safe, fair environment for our participants to play. Professional officials will work as the first referee at all 11s, 12s, and 13s divisions. If a team has a player that has been able to get some experience as a first referee in the past, the head coach may request that their player work the second set of a match under the professional referee's supervision. If the match goes to a deciding set, the professional referee will work that set. In the 14 and older age groups, the player referees will work as R1 during all pool play matches and the professional referees will serve as trainers and mentors for the work team. The professional referee is there to make sure the rules are applied fairly, so they are authorized to make calls from the floor if they cannot get the R1's attention. Professional referees will work all playoff matches in all age groups. All one-day Carolina region tournaments have a 2-week entry deadline before the event. This deadline is firm. The Monday after the deadline, we will process the results from the previous tournament and upload them into the system, and then begin assigning out sites in 4-team pool increments for the next tournament based we have available. We may have some tournaments that have 3-team pools or other approved formats to accommodate as many teams as we can. Regular season tournaments will be labeled as sites in the tournament system. The regional championship tournament sites will be labeled as divisions. These numbers are not related to your initial quintile designation when you registered your teams. We will explain the site assignment process in more detail on the next slide. This slide provides a visual representation of how the region assigns out sites for a typical tournament. For this example, there are 35 total teams in this age group/realm. The teams are ranked in the two columns 1 to 35 based on the most recent tournament results received in the office. The teams in color, red, blue, and orange, have paid tournament entries in the system for this tournament. There are 3 sites available to host tournaments, 2 2-court sites and 1 3-court sites. For this example, we will assign teams to the 3-court site first, but note there is no policy to use the 3-court site first. This example pool and a 3-team pool. This example also provides a visual representation as to the importance of entering by the deadline and why late entries are harder to accommodate. If Team 6 tried to enter late, we would not be able to accommodate them as there is no room at Site 1. Likewise for Team 20 or 22. However, if Team 30 wanted to enter late, we could accommodate them at Site 3. They would be invoiced a late fee for entering after the deadline. So, what does this tournament assignment process mean and what is important to keep in mind? The main thing to communicate to your families is that teams will not know their sites for the one-day tournaments until the Monday after a tournament entries deadline. Sites will be posted to the tournament system as soon as possible, but we do need to receive all results from the previous weekend's tournaments before we can update the rankings. Please tell families and coaches to wait to traffic doesn't slow down our site. As mentioned on the previous slide, the ability to accept late entries will be fewer as most sites will be assigned with 4-team pools. We also have eliminated needing to move teams up or down divisions as all sites are assigned out based on the current rankings. Teams will move up or down the rankings each tournament based on their match results. The Carolina Regional Championships will be held on the March 21st to 22nd and the March 28th to 29th weekends this season. In each age group, the top 4 teams in the rankings from the East and West realms that enter the regional championships will be assigned to a site to compete for the overall regional championships. All remaining teams that enter the regional championships will be assigned out by the rankings to their respective East and West championships. If there are not enough sites available to accommodate all teams, the higher-ranked teams will be assigned out first. Teams do need to meet a minimum participation requirement to be eligible to compete for a regional championship. Teams can track their qualification status on their unique team page on the tournament system. Note that the status will not update until the team has played in their 3rd qualifying event. Entering the tournament does not count. Players must also participate in 2 Carolina region-sanctioned events to be eligible to participate. All teams must enter the regional championships by the entry deadline. We will usually not be able to accept late entries. All rosters freeze 1 week before their age group's regional championship, so any club movements will need to be handled before the rosters freeze. Players may only play with 1 team in a regional championship event. This is so 1 player cannot help 2 different teams win a regional championship. Let's take a look at how a typical one-day tournament will operate. All one-day tournaments will begin at 9 a.m. There will be a required coaches meeting at 8:30 a.m. If a coach is running late, a coach from the same club that is attending the same tournament, or a parent or player that has arrived from that team, may still represent that team at the meeting. If no one from the club or team is in attendance, the team is subject to a penalty on their first game of the tournament. Teams will usually be assigned to either a 3-team pool or a 4-team pool and will play 2 out of 3 set matches starting at 0. The top 2 teams from each pool will advance to the playoffs. If a 3-team pool is paired with a 4-team pool, it will play a double round-robin format. Most tournaments will have all 4-team pools and they will play a standard round-robin format. Occasionally, there will be 5 or 6 teams. If there are 5 teams left, they will play a 5-team tournament and will play a round-robin format but will only play 2 sets for each match starting at 0. The top 2 teams will then play one more match for the finals. If there are 6 teams left to be assigned to a site, they will be split into 2 3-team pools and will play a round-robin pool format. All 6 teams will then advance to the playoffs and be seeded 1 to 6 based on the pool finishes. There are no tiebreaker sets to decide which teams advance to the playoffs. Ties will be broken automatically based on pool play results, and we will go over that process in a future slide. As mentioned previously, most tournaments are held in 2 and 3 court facilities and assigned out in tournaments. This will advance to the playoffs. Teams advance to the playoffs out of pool play based on their overall match record during pool play. If teams are tied in their match record, teams will advance based on the following criteria. If 2 teams then remain tied at point differential, the TD would go back to the head-to-head result between those 2 teams. There have been no changes to how the Carolina region seeds teams into playoffs. Most tournaments will have either a 4-team or 6-team playoff depending on the number of pools in the tournament. Each first-place team in the pool is seeded higher than the second-place teams. Teams are then seeded based on match record, set record, and point differential. A common question we have received is how undefeated teams are seeded into the playoffs. For our purposes, undefeated means no match or set losses. From a previous slide, we showed how teams are initially placed into pools based on the rankings. The top overall team goes into Pool 1 and then the remaining teams are snaked into the pools. For playoff seeding purposes, we will seed an undefeated team coming out of Pool 1 higher than an undefeated team coming out of Pool 2 or 3. Likewise, an undefeated team out of Pool 2 will have a playoff seed higher than an undefeated team in Pool 3. This seeding priority will remain even if the initial top-ranked team entering the tournament is not the team that is undefeated after pool play. All teams in the pool maintain their initial pool seed for playoff seeding purposes. The remaining playoff seeds are placed in the playoff bracket based on their match, set, and then point differential records. Note that in a 6-team playoff, the tournament director may manually adjust the 4th, 6th seeded teams so teams from the same pool will not play each other in the first round of playoffs. Tournament hosts may charge an admission fee to spectators at their Carolina region sanctioned events. The maximum admission charge a one-day tournament host may collect is $5 for spectators ages 11 or older. Kids 10 and under should not be charged an admission. All participants such as players, coaches, chaperones, and families about the admissions policy so they are aware before attending an event. Some hosts may only accept cash, so be sure to view the facility information on the tournament system. Multi-day tournaments on the Carolina region schedule are authorized to set their own admissions policy to account for the increased costs in operating those events. The Carolina region has a custom website dedicated to administering our one-day tournaments and team rankings. We call it the tournament system. All clubs, coaches, and families should bookmark this site and refer to it often during the season. The tournament system includes all information about individual teams, overall rankings, and each tournament. This is also the place where families and clubs will go to find out where their team is assigned in a particular tournament after the tournament entry deadline has passed. After the tournament has concluded, we will post results from that tournament on the tournament system. We are also able to upload results from our multi-day tournaments that use AES as their administration system, so Carolina region teams that participate in those events will have their match results against other Carolina region teams counted in the rankings. Keep in mind that our rankings only process match results between Carolina region teams that have an initial points value in our system. Matches against out-of-region teams will not be processed as those teams are not in our system and have no initial points values to be able to use. If you click on a team in the rankings, the team's individual page will be pulled up. This page provides additional information about the team, including the team's progress for a regional championship eligibility. The next slide will show an example of a team's page. Take the time to look over the tournament system and all its information. Let us know if there is additional things you would like to see in the tournament system. This is an example of a sample team page from our tournament system. Site visitors can click on a team name in the rankings to go to their team page. At the top of the team page, some general team information can be found: their team name, where the team is based out of, their team rep, their team code, and their current rankings against teams in their same age group and realm, and against all other junior teams. The next section on the page will show the tournaments that the team has either entered, if viewing before the tournament, or played in, if viewing after the event. The next section will show whether the team is eligible yet to participate in either a regional championship event or eligible to receive a region bid to the USAV Junior National Championships, if interested, and submit an application. Note that eligibility is only updated after the events have been held and the team shows in the results uploaded after the event. Entering an event does not affect the eligibility status, as the team may later withdraw from that event before it is held. The final section of the team page will give a breakdown of results from each tournament the team participated in. It will show who they played, with their opponents' team codes, the results of their matches, and how that result impacted their points rankings during the event. Please let your coaches and families know about this feature of the website so they can better keep track of their season results. Some final junior tournament information. The Carolina region and USA Volleyball also has a schedule of multi-day events and national qualifiers that many teams like to participate in each season. To find the national qualifier schedule, go to usavolleyball.org, find the Play menu, and click Events are also listed on our junior tournament schedules found under the Tournaments menu on our website. Entries to all the multi-day tournament are direct to the tournament, so do not send those entries through the region office. Advanced teams should consider competing at the USA Volleyball Junior National Championships. Teams must earn a bid to play in the USAV Championships in all divisions except the Patriot Division, which any team can enter. Bids are awarded at junior national qualifiers across the country. Regions also have bids to the National, American, and Freedom divisions in most age groups. If you have teams that are interested in one of the region bids, you will need to submit an application. The region has established a ranking system for teams that are interested in our bids. Teams will earn points at USAV qualifiers and other USAV-sanctioned events based on their tournament finishes. The region will award our bids to the highest-ranked teams in the bid ranking system. The application and more information on the regional bid ranking system is available at the Junior Club Director section of our Forms page. We will conclude this Junior Club Director informational webinar with some information about athlete safety. Although it is at the end of the presentation, that by no means lessens its importance. As a primarily youth sports organization, the Carolina region and USA Volleyball takes the safety and security of its minor athletes very seriously. We mentioned earlier that all adults affiliating with a junior program are required to take a safe sport course annually to be eligible to participate. As the standard bearer for a screening program. The Safe Sport website is listed on this slide and is a tremendous resource for clubs, parents, and athletes. They have great educational resources available for all. There is also a confidential reporting system for individuals to report any suspicion of abuse. All coaches and administrators, as well as our professional officials and tournament directors, must take an annual Safe Sport course to be eligible each season. Everyone will take a core course the first time they are required to take the course. In subsequent years, have to finish the course in one sitting. It will track your progress and you may leave and return to complete the course as needed. Once completed, a credential will be added to the member's account. Finally, the U.S. Center for Safe Sport requires all NGBs to develop a minor athlete abuse prevention policy and communicate it to all adult members of the organization. Information on how to take additional training offered by Safe Sport for athletes and parents. Please pass this information along to your club and review it annually. We hope you have found this information webinar helpful and that it has answered a lot of your questions about how to register your club and teams and how our tournaments operate. The region has an extensive frequently asked questions section on our website under the info menu for your use at any time. We also have a new feature on our website, an AI chatbot available at the lower right side of each page on the site. It is available to answer questions and get you to information easier on our website. Its answers improve the more it is used, so check it out, and if an answer seems weird, We do monitor it and correct its sources for a better answer the next time. If you have any additional questions about our organization, please email our region office at the email on the screen, and we'll be happy to help you. We hope you have a great volleyball season, and thanks for joining us.